Alright, so I'm on camera now. James, the funny one, the better one.
As one does.
Yeah, you know. So we lightly grazed on the subject of like box office failures and then classic comic book movies. And I wanted to go over box office failures a little bit because both my dad and I have made an interesting observation that very recently a lot of films have been flagged box office failures in that they didn't hit the mark they wanted to, but they're still darn good movies. And it's interesting to see that it's not so much the movies aren't making money, it's critics taking the benchmark that these films want to clear and just saying, oh, it's instantly a failure because it didn't clear the benchmark.
Something that it really got me out of this to begin with before getting back into Nerd Alert was the idea of like, not even critics, but just fans online, not even at like hoping for a movie, but being like, it better have this, this, and this, or I'm not going to watch it. Or creating rumors themselves to be like, oh, this is going to happen in it, then it not happening, and then them getting angry about it. But I feel like there's this very reactionary thing where if it doesn't immediately check every box, there's no time to like let it age, which should be interesting because I feel like in the next couple of years we might revisit movies that were deemed failures and actually be like, this was actually like a solid movie.
I mean, it's my favorite example, The Room. That is a dumpster fire, but everybody loves it because it's funny and it's stupid. It was a failure, but because people were given the chance to like look at it and see it stupid and enjoy it for that, it became a huge hit. 2001, Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm trying to think of other ones. I had a whole list that were like box office failures, but were huge cult successes.
But that's what I'm meaning. Like, you give it time to age, and you realize you might go, "Oh, this was actually better than it was." I mean, just like the same way you watch some older movies, and you're like, "Holy crap, this is not as good as I thought it was." The X-Men films.
Oh boy, not bad Deadpool.
Those were pretty bad too. But yeah, I mean, I feel like everybody's so ready that if the first week it doesn't achieve what it's exactly supposed to achieve, everybody is ready to say it was awful, things like that. And same with like, I think Haunted Mansion didn't perform as well as they wanted it to. But my thing is you released a Disney horror movie in August, which you can kind of tell with the intention of having it streaming on Disney by October, but it's like, then you had to make that trade-off to either put it in the theaters when people want to go to the theaters and watch that stuff. I guarantee you when that hits Disney Plus, that is going to be one of the most streamed movies because of when it gets added on there, and that's when people are going to want to watch that stuff. So it's almost like now, with streaming being such a relevant thing, and every studio and every channel and every network having a streaming service of some kind, you actually can't make these calls until it is on there and see how it's received that way.
Absolutely, and one of my biggest examples of why I don't trust critics anymore is the Super Mario movie. Exactly. Super Mario movie. Huge. I
loved that movie.
It was incredible, and it was
loved that movie.
Genius because it's not Zelda, it's not Metroid, it's not, heaven forbid, Pikmin, which is a lot more complicated than I give it credit for. It's Mario. Go play a Mario game, and with the exception of Super Mario Galaxy, and try and tell me there's a plot there.
Well, yeah, I mean, the whole idea is just getting the stars, and that was the whole point of the movie, but you had to work it in a way that it wasn't a, video game, which I thought was very well done. They added stuff where you can easily set up, like, Luigi's Mansion and things like that, if they want to extend that universe. And they touched on most of the games, Mario Kart, Super Smash Brothers, like, and even like the way they included the original style of the games and like the training with Peach, like that was so cool.
It was genius. It didn't need to be complicated, and all of a sudden all the critics were like, it's mindless drivel. It's like, okay, and the original Mario game is like the most simple A to B plot ever. Plumber saves princess from Turtle Man.
Yeah, well, it's like also like too, at the end of the day, guys, like I understand that a lot of things that I'm into are meant for children. Like, Mario was not going for the Oscar, you know what I mean? Like, they were just making a movie about a video game plumber saving the princess from Turtle Man, and it's like, you don't need to look at it past that. Just enjoy it for what it was.
Although I would like to say Jack Black absolutely
Oh my
deserves
god.
Oscar or whatever
That needs to be up
awards
for one of the
Peaches.
songs. Yeah, that has
Yeah.
to be up for Song of the Year or whatever. 'Cause
So stupid. But
also,
so good.
his whole PR as Bowser, where he like had the suit as Bowser. I think he went on. Was it Kelly Clarkson in the Bowser costume? Like all of that.
Yeah.
Like I'm absolutely here for Jack Black. I mean, come on,
It's Jack
half
Black.
the D. So
Yeah. It's interesting, and then with a lot of animation recently has just been like these stellar pieces of work that I'll see some people tear apart and others laud as a success. It's like you have Puss in Boots, Last Wish, last December, I think. No,
that was. I remember it coming out.
it was last winter fall season.
I fell off of the Shrek verse.
I watched it. I was blown away because it is this stunning, stellar sequel that did not need to at all do that. It did not need to be this incredibly deep examination of the beauty of life and learning to live, and it like understanding that if you're wishing for something, 9 times out of 10 you already have it. You just have to look. And it was stunning, and the critics loved it because it was subversive, and it was for adults as much as it was children. One of the biggest things people point out is the panic attack scene, is that it's like, this is incredibly realistic and well done. No kid's gonna sit there and be like, I think it's incredibly beautiful that we watched a ginger cat have a panic attack and get a scraggly dog.
To age myself and you, I can remember when we were filming stuff back in the day and Adventure Time was like just coming out, and Jim came in one time and was like, bro, I don't think this show's for kids, man. Like, this is some wild stuff happening. And he's like, cool thing is it's going over my kids' heads. But I'm sitting there watching this and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And like, you were none the wiser to it. So you have to have some of that stuff in there too. Like, that's,
Exactly.
for the adults to enjoy and get you through that movie. But something else, like thinking about, like you're talking about the new Puss in Boots, we're talking about Mario, and I mentioned like Luigi's Mansion. They already showed that Yoshi egg to set up for Yoshi for a sequel or whatever. I'm also of the opinion that not every movie has to be a verse. Like, we don't have to have 900 movies shooting off of that. And like the Barbie movie coming out, which was great, the fact that Mattel was like, we need a Mattelverse, and it was like, you're missing the point of all of this. Like, that was not, you don't even need a sequel to this movie. That movie's done, it was fun, move on. But like, I don't think we need like Uno, the motion picture.
I do want to see that though. If they make it like rated R Thunderdome,
Oh no,
I would pay to see that.
If you give me like a gory, bloody, R-rated Uno movie, then maybe I'm in.
And like the
But,
MacGuffin
like,
is
PG
the Uno
to
reverse.
PG-13, I'm not doing Uno. Like,
No,
sorry, it's
I'm
not
with you on
happening.
that one.
Like,
It's like,
we tried that with Battleship. No good. I need hard R Mattel movies.
I think you're talking about Waterworld.
Yeah. What's another
Oh.
Mattel property?
God. I know they're doing a Hot Wheels one. I
want hard R Hot Wheels. This is what I'm asking
I want
for.
Thunderdome, Mad Max, like everybody slaughtering each other.
100% like Hot Wheels.
And can we make it a commentary on
What was
like
the-
American obsessionism with cars?
What was the tagline for Hot Wheels?
I don't remember. All I know is Beyblade, let 'em rip. That's engraved
If we're doing a
in my brain.
Beyblade movie, I need a hard R.
Or-
I need hard R,
Yeah.
gory Mattel films.
Okay, you know what we need? Original Yu-Gi-Oh! Uno. Because original Yu-Gi-Oh! Was like, we're killing people when we play these
Wait,
games.
really?
Oh yeah, the original storyline was
See, I was
incredible.
a Pokemon guy, and
Oh.
then like when Yu-Gi-Oh came out, I was like, posers. I already got my card game with monsters.
Even the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Continuity with Yugi and the duel is still incredibly dark. So I'd love to see like an Uno film where it's like, I'm gonna send you to the Shadow Realm, buddy.
That would be cool.
Oh, it'd
Like,
be so funny. It would be so
Reverse!
funny. Oh, that would be so dumb. So dumb. Final Fantasy VII. I am a huge Final Fantasy nerd. I've played 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. I just finished 3. I'm working on 4. I love the series. It's awesome. But Final Fantasy VII was this massive landmark game. And as all massive landmark games are, they're cash cows. So of course you get like Advent Children, Crisis Core, 7 Remake, Ever Crisis, like all these new games being added into the continuity that it's like we didn't need these.
I am having my Jim moment here where I'm like, what? I never got into Final Fantasy. I missed the first few as a kid. So at that point I was like, you didn't have the accessibility to play certain games after systems came out. So I was like, I missed the Final Fantasy boat. Oops. I guess it's gone. So I never got into it. But...
Oh, don't worry. Mr. Behind the Camera will always judge me and be like, Final Fantasy VII, I played the first 5 minutes and nothing happened. It's like, okay.
There's amazing cutscenes!
I am going... It's just hard because I get it. It's like sometimes you want to leave it as it is. It doesn't need to be this huge
thing.
Things
can end.
Exactly.
Things can end.
There can be an ending. I love so many classic films because it's like, there's a definitive ending and we don't need anything else.
And then they come out with Good Burger 2.
That was my favorite part when Final Fantasy ended.
It was the Final Fantasy.